Hello there, I'm Weitkamp, and this week I'm in the studio with Indianapolis musician Franc. In addition to his music, Alex is a big part of the Soundspace team and has his own record label called Mad Black Records. Alex, thanks so much for coming by.
Hey man, thanks for having me.
So I guess for people who don't really know who you are, do you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, my name is Franc. I've been in the music scene here in Indianapolis for about 2 to 3 years. I come from a small town like 3 hours up. It's called Goshen, Indiana. It's a super small town. I don't know, it's not super incredibly small, but it is pretty small.
Yeah, it's...
But I was lucky enough to find like a little arts community pocket there when I lived there and grew up there, so kind of got me into music, brought me down here. I've been kind of grinding ever since. I started just singing in like my free time, just using it to pay the bills and stuff, and then I was like, let me rework this idea. How do I want to enter the music industry? Now that I started realizing that my foot was in the door and I had opportunities like to be a part of this, I was like, do I want to do this as just a singer? Do I want to do this as like a band member? There's so many different options, so I was like, yeah, let me take a step back, take a year to build, and that was 2019 for me this past year, so now 2020 I'm kind of ready to make shit. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I love all my experience thus far, see where it takes me.
Of course. So, did you come from Goshen? Once you got older, did you move from there to kind of get closer to the city?
Yeah, so, I mean, really that transition looking a little bit more in depth. Like, I went to college at Ball State. I studied music. So I did study music in college. You know, like I took a year and tried to give it a go. But about halfway through my first semester of college, I met this guy. His name's Benjamin Cannon. He's super incredible person, a part of the Indianapolis music community.
Gotcha.
Like, seriously, a pillar for me.
Like he can be found like everywhere.
Dude, Spark Drum Music, yeah. I mean, like he's booked for Fountain Square Brewery, which is like right next to it. He's been a part of that for years. So I met him when I was in college, and then that next year I just didn't end up coming back. I got linked up with him, and I signed to his record label, Spark Drum Music. And it just made sense to move down here and drop out and just move down here and just pursue music, because I was just having too much fun pursuing it. I like turned around on myself and I was like, this is what you want to do. This is who you are. This is like, you know what I mean? Like, when you really look back at your life, you're not going to care about the other things. As much as other people in your life want to hear you say that you're going to care about like getting a good grade and I put in the hard work here and like, no, I'm not going to look at that stuff anymore.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there can be that big disconnect with that kind of. The school is just, there's so much pressure from other people more than it is yourself.
It's not necessarily school, because I hate docking or smashing my friends in college. It's really just tradition, like removing yourself from traditional society norms. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm about to do something that I think is a little different, and now I don't know. You got to kind of be secure with that. But it made sense to me, so. Yeah, and then it kind of found my way here. So, kind of Goshen, left Ball State, and then I was like, nah.
Gotcha.
Indianapolis is my little scene.
Of course, yeah. So, where was kind of the first places you started getting into when you were there? Like, what instruments were you playing? Where were kind of the places you were gravitating towards to start networking?
Well, I kind of came down here already I played guitar since I was 6, and lessons I've sang since I was like 12, so I have music in my back knowledge of did arts. But when I really got down here, this is kind of crazy. I've always produced music, and then I made beats, and when I was a kid, I joked around, produced like crap singles for like friends in high school. But when I got to Indianapolis, it kind of woke me up, and I was like, yo, I need to really take producing a lot more seriously. You know what I mean? I need to like lock in on my craft and stuff like that. So.
You're kind of a very diverse artist. Like you can see it going through your discography. Like you have those kind of groovy kind of soulful beats, and then the rustic kind of like guitar stuff, more of like deep and emotional things. So were you just always trying to diversify yourself more as an artist?
Always trying to diversify myself. So like I came here with those. I've been trying to change and learn new stuff ever since, and like really expand musically. Because as a producer, I learned that like you can't have any limitations. As an artist, you should just like have a ton of limitations. I mean, that's how I believe personally. If you create your box, you can kind of stay within that, and you're able to build products out of that. You know, when you're building an album, you want it to have an aesthetic. Gotcha. You've got to create limitations. But when you're a producer, I can't be held down by anything anyone else wants or needs in the studio. If he's like, do this, I'm like, I just want to be open to all of the options.
So providing that contrast to kind of not limit yourself as an artist, but then also for kind of the commercial and more of like me as an
The
artist.
flexibility purposes of needing to be really open-minded in music. So, first half of my life was really like learning a lot of texture and learning a lot of color in music, but then second half was like really learning how to control it and how to figure out the
Gotcha. So when you started doing that music and that kind of thing, what kind of events were you performing at?
Yes. First place I played was Thirsty Scholar, which is probably one of the best houses you can play in Indianapolis.
What's it called one more time?
Thirsty Scholar. I don't know if they're not open right now, I believe. They're not doing shows. I'm really sad. But I played a couple shows that are starting up, and then I got into Fountain Square Brewery. I kind of like started moving around. And then, like I said, I was signed to a record label, so they put me through the works. So I played probably 40, 50 shows in my first little couple months since there, and then my 2018 looked like, probably like getting up to 100 shows, ending the year with like.
So they were
my
just
own
kind of
solo
putting
tour.
you in a bunch of just different places to kind of expand your name and kind of give you places.
Oh
to
yeah, they
perform
gave me the voice for sure, and they gave me the ability to like really go out and like work on my craft, because you can create music in your bedroom, or you can like really figure out live performing. Those are two kind of sides of the music industry. I mean, you can go play covers and just figure out live performing. You know?
Yeah.
But then there's also like crafting your own sound and stuff. So in a way, I was like, I really wanted to craft my own sound, but they knew that I needed to do both. So they got my foot in the door with all of the studio time that I needed at that point, because I didn't have the Indianapolis connections to be there. And then also put me on the road.
Well, and that provided that networking way for you, being at all these different venues in India.
But I took 100% advantage of it too. Like, there's nothing I did within those times that I was like, I'm just gonna slag or do this. I was like, no, let me really learn every name, shake every hand, because I want to be able to do this someday by myself.
So it was a big grind. It was just, it was kind of playing the room and that kind of thing. So you also, how did that lead to a tour? Because you also did a pretty nice Midwest tour, correct?
Yeah, no, that was really cool. And I got to, for the first time, like, pick openers, like, text people, like, do you want to come open for me this day?
That's cool.
And they're like, yes, I'd love to come play for you.
That's so cool.
And I got to do shows with people. My album release kicked off that tour, and I just got to be so selective of the people who came play. It was such an incredible event. But,
so you were kind of coordinating that. It was your first thing of kind of...
My first tour really came out of that year of booking as many shows as possible, because I was able to circle back to all of my favorite venues. And that's really what I built that tour out of. I mean, like, there was a venue on that tour called Blind Bob's, and it's a super awesome bar in Ohio. I will go back to that bar any day and play. This is one of the few places on my list that like I would go to for just the lowest of the low price.
Just literally just to go,
just because they're just the nicest, kindest people. There's 5 or 6 places like that. There's 3 or 4 places that I would go play for free just because the hospitality was so real.
Yeah.
And the room was so real. I was like, no, I care about you guys. But yeah, so that's how that tour was kind of built. I pushed the entire year, really seeing what I could do, where I could be receptive at, because your music's not going to be receptive everywhere. I don't know. That's a harsh lesson to learn. That, like, it's not consistent. It is not consistent. Like, people are not going to like your music everywhere. It's going to be weird pockets.
So then, in the contrast to that, what were some of your favorite places that you went, like city-wise?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, really?
Appleton, Wisconsin, incredible. And I don't know if it's just like if Indiana isn't as hospitable. Don't get hurt. Don't get your feelings hurt, Indiana. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but Wisconsin, no, they're nice. They're pretty nice. Like, I rolled to a show in Wisconsin, they're like, yo, you just drove 6 hours? Oh my gosh. We're getting you a meal now, we're getting you a meal for the road, you're taking 2 Red Bulls, here's your check. You were incredible. I was like,
the hospitality?
Yo, you guys are ridiculous. I got a chicken parm and a Philly cheesesteak. This is too much. I feel like I owe you money.
That's great.
But then, like, no, India's great. I've played so many shows in India. So, I mean,
but again, you always have to kind of expand onwards.
I honestly just think it's because I go out and I experience different cultures.
Yeah.
And experience different cultures is just, like, refreshing.
Oh, of course.
Because sometimes I think the opposite. Like, sometimes I think everyone else is so fluffy, and I think sometimes Indianapolis can be a little tough.
Oh, of course.
I like that once it's just a little bit tougher. So, I don't know. It is cool to just travel and experience new culture. That's always refreshing.
What was life like kind of on the road? Like, I mean, was this your first place where you like literally just binging from like day to day, city to city?
Yeah, it was definitely my first time just on the road. Like, I put so many miles in the truck. And I mean, like, what was really cool was, like, some of the days were full band, some of the days were acoustic. So, like, there would be times where I'm touring, I'm rolling around, like, 6 people. Sometimes I'm rolling around 3 people. Sometimes I have, like, 8 dates in a row, and it's just, like, acoustic. I'm just killing it all by myself. You know what I mean? You can have 100 shows in a year. Are you going to have 20 full band in a row? Like, probably not. That's,
yeah.
At least for, you know, a wide-eyed 19-year-old kid.
Right. And just,
you know?
of course.
So yeah, no, that was crazy. And the next level of musician kind of kicked in, which was like, I don't know, you go into this place where you're like, wow, I'm traveling a lot, I'm alone a lot.
Yeah.
I've got to start figuring out what to do with my time and like keeping my mental health in check and stuff. Yeah, you spend a lot of time with yourself.
And that can always be positive, but it's like when it's for that experience of time, and then you just have to basically like, when you're feeling nervous for a show, you have no one to really confide in for that.
Yeah, it is positive. The end is positive. You know, what you get out of those moments and experiences is positive. Like, the moments themselves don't necessarily always feel positive. Yeah. And that is a hard lesson to learn in growing up and stuff. Like, you're going to go through things and it's not going to feel great, or it's not going to feel right. But out of it, you're going to be like, no, I've experienced a lot of really good wisdom from this. So, like, being alone for, like, 8 hours before I play for 3 hours, and then driving 6 hours home alone, it's like, yo.
Yeah.
What? You can only FaceTime so many friends.
Right.
And you're like, is that when I FaceTime you twice today?
Yeah, then you just gotta be.
I'm just gonna read an audiobook. I'm just listening to whatever. Like, so it's just, but it's new. It's new. To kids, you know, like me, I was always around a bunch of people growing up. I was always in sports. I was always surrounding myself with like people. So it's just a new level. And you do that 100 times, and then you've kind of acquired that way. So you're like, okay, I can do this. I can upgrade just more stuff now. I can start learning other things.
So, I mean, as the viewers can tell, you're a very, very knowledgeable guy about music and just kind of progressing yourself as an artist. What's kind of the biggest piece of advice you could give for smaller musicians or artists in Indy or even elsewhere?
Well, I'm still learning so much. Like, I appreciate it so much. I'm still so open-minded to learning. I think that is something I take, and that's like the best piece of advice I can give. Is don't talk out of your ass. Like, don't talk about something you don't know about. Just always be open to learn. Like, I look at some people, or at least some of my peers who will turn and be like, oh, I know something about this. I'm like, oh man, like I get this. That's actually wrong. Like, this is right. Like, that would have been a perfect time for that person to be like, I don't know. Like, open up. Like,
I want to learn about this. Like,
even if you think you know a lot, like, I open up sometimes, and I don't necessarily downplay what I know, but I'm really interested and intrigued to know what someone else is.
Learn more.
Yeah, or see a different path. Like, it's all about perspective sometimes. Like, if I start talking like I'm like, oh, I got this, you may not offer up a piece of knowledge that I needed. You know, I was just talking like, oh, I got this, but I don't got this. I need little critiques, you know what I mean? So
like, basically kind of lose the ego in yourself.
Yeah, lose the ego a little bit.
Circumstances.
Yeah. And just be really open, because collaboration and like, critiquing is free. You know what I mean? If you open up and just really learn from other people around you, like, that's probably the best advice I can give you right now. As a 22-year-old kid, just figuring it out.
I'm 19.
Yeah. I know, yeah, seriously. Young dudes, like...
And like, you gotta kind of figure it out as a artist.
But you gotta start. That's the biggest... I guess that should be my biggest advice. Like, yes, keep learning, but oh my gosh, just start. My biggest pet peeve is when people they just talk about doing something, and I'm like, you can talk about it for as long as you want, but until you just give it a go. People hate me because I give so many things a go. They're like, dude, you know you're gonna fail. I know I'm gonna fail, but by doing it,
you're learning.
I'm gonna realize what to do right. That's all. You know, I don't want to pay $20,000 for college. Everyone's pissed about that, but
hey, everyone's got their own journey. Everyone's got their own kind of specific things. So, next kind of segment I want to transition towards is kind of talk about your Soundspace involvement. Yeah, you've been a very big part of Soundspace, correct?
Yeah, I've loved like giving them my time and giving my effort and support to them, because they've got a really awesome little startup here in Indianapolis. Not little, they've been killing it, I would say. They've been growing like crazy.
For people who don't know Soundspace, of course, it's like, you pay a monthly subscription.
Yeah, Soundspace basically is a new way of looking at recording and rehearsing music. and connecting with artists in your city. So basically, like, they're offering up memberships, a Connect, Rehearse, and Record membership to artists to come into the space, use it as a co-working space. There's right now the beta version of this is launched in a small location right next to Center Point Brewery.
How long has it been in beta for?
It's been in beta since November 1st.
Okay.
And it started, yeah. There's a rehearsal room there where bands can rehearse, and also a studio that's launching as of now. So Record memberships are going to be launching here, and it's going to be really cool. You can come in for a membership cost, get all of this access to being able to get your work done. So it's definitely something as an artist, if you're trying to grow or check out what Indianapolis has to offer.
What is your I guess in a technical term, what is your involvement in this?
My involvement is I'm an artist representative, so I'm one of the artists that have kind of been a part of it since the jump, since when they kind of started getting more and more artists involved, and I kind of got on board and was really sold on what they had going for them. So I've been able to be with them. I played at a bunch of events for them. Always happy to share my music and when I can. Have gone with them to some events and just talked with people about what they've kind of are doing from an artist perspective, because it's really changing the way artists are kind of growing in the music community. I don't know.
Especially the music. I think especially the music community in Indy, because there's not really a place like that. I mean, of course, it's kind of like what you did. You networked with all the people you met at your shows and stuff like that, and all the people you met in Indy. Yeah. But this is kind of like putting everyone in a certain place. And
it changes both sides. I struggle to talk about it because one, it improves your music. You know what I mean? Because you're going and you have a place to rehearse and grow.
And get critique.
Exactly, and get critique. But also, like, you can create products there, you know what I mean? And take them with you, and or use the space for other things than just music. Like,
anything,
you can take your business plans there and work on like what you're trying to do with merch and what you're trying to do with videos and marketing. I don't know. It just
everything for growing. Like it's a cultural hotspot.
Exactly. You roll to a recording studio and you're paying the $1,000. Now I'm bashing recording studios. I love it because you can pop up and do projects in a day. But like,
with knowledgeable people.
Yeah, with knowledgeable people for that one little project. But you roll up and you pay that for one day. But it's like no one's helping me with attaching this to a video. No one's helping me attach this to this. I'm not saying they're directly going to be doing all this, but they're generating a hub for you to generate all those connections.
Yeah, because it's not like recording studios is mostly going to be music people. Soundspace will have everything. Like,
exactly.
Everything from a talent manager to a product designer. Yeah.
And regardless of if they don't have it, they have team members there who are really interested in getting involved
and they know
with new systems. Yeah. Exactly, who are going to help you find the people you need. So right now, I can guarantee there's not a lack, or there's not a lack of support right now. Any musician can go to them and say, "Hey, I'm interested. I'm trying to buy a membership. I need help." They're gonna be there.
Yep.
So now's the time to kind of jump on board with all this.
So I mean that's perfect to lead into this next question. How does one get in touch with Soundspace if they're interested?
Yes, they've got a Facebook page. All social medias, SND, SPC, Soundspace. They also have a website, which is it SNDSPC.com? It is. SNDSPC.com. Soundspace without any of the vowels.
Okay, gotcha.
It's correct. I'm right.
Yeah.
Boom.
Perfect. Sure. So in this kind of last segment, then, I mean, Soundspace, it's an awesome thing. That's so cool to get to be part of a project like that. Providing such a different thing for Indy that Indy needs. Indy needs something that gives kind of a mainstream representation towards connecting and building yourself.
They do. I've talked about it recently, just on a couple other podcasts too. It's like people ask me, what can you do? What does Indianapolis need to kind of grow even more? What are we looking for to become more of a music hub? And I was just like,
that's the big question.
Collaboration and creativity. Like, that's a really lame answer. I feel lame, but it's not. It's like we need to keep working with more people. So many people have private projects. Oh, I have this little thing. This is my thing. And I'm gonna get famous off this, and no one else in the Midwest can touch it because I'm gonna go international, go big. I'm like, dude. So many talented people here. There's so many great guitar players.
It just needs the infrastructure.
Yeah.
It really does.
And then also, like, just restarting. I don't think people restart enough. You know what I mean? Like, really just pitch ideas and go, okay, I completely tried that. I'm going to throw it all away and start again. Yeah. And I think
they just get stuck in that same kind of routine.
Yeah, I do that a lot, and some of my friends, because I make a lot more music than people think. It's really funny. I'll release only a couple songs here or there, but right now I've just been crafting my production style is just making music. So I make like 10 beats a week, 10 to 12 beats a week sometimes.
So that's always kind of
and that's just slow. That's just like slow working and tweaking. I'm trying to like get better at little things. And my friends get to hear all this music and they're just like, why don't you put any of this music out? Why don't you do this? But it's part of my bigger picture. But I keep restarting. I'm like, you know what? When I can kind of finalize on this project, I know it's going to be what it needs to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what matters to me is creating the products that I'm happy with. This is my music, so.
Are you releasing most of that music through your record label?
Yeah, so the record label is really cool because it's a place for me to really be as an artist, and I can, you know, it's my whole team, my whole crew. Like, we can all really just work together as a team. But also, we have a couple other artists, and they're going to be a big focus of the year. Bobby Donnelly, Frank Black, two incredible artists.
Yeah, that's kind of why this is kind of like, for our last segment, this is kind of what I really wanted to focus on because I love the process of this record company and just kind of the concept behind it. So, Matt Black Records, do you mind explaining more kind of into it?
Yeah, for sure. So I really like cultivated the idea for Matt Black Records when I was finishing up with the record label that was on. And, you know, I really started figuring out the way to do it for artists nowadays independently isn't to go out and find an interchanging team every 2 years. It's to really sit down and grow and build a team for yourself and actually create a team for yourself that you actually connect with and that you can actually see working out for the foreseeable future. Hey, this is a team.
Having actually a group of core members, not just employees or that kind of thing. It's members.
It's like we're all a part of this. This is a dream. This is a goal. So, that's where that record label kind of came from. I thought of it then, and I really took all of 2019 to build it, and I've been able to just build an all-star team. I mean, I think when you take the time to actually just focus on the people you're surrounding yourself with, and what you're trying to build, your goals, you can actually build something like that. So I made the record label for that, and now, my goals were not only just to build my own music up, but also to just really understand the music industry and as it's growing, you know what I mean, like that. And now I have 3 artists, and we're really excited about 2020. We've got a little lineup coming up. We've got some tour dates coming out. We've got some music videos coming out.
That's amazing.
We got new music. It's been really great, and it's our own take on an independent record label. We're able to do freelance marketing, freelance work for people when we want, but still have artists signed to us that we take.
Have your own thing going.
100%, priority, and we've got so much planned for 2020.
What was kind of the initial concept behind the name and just kind of the?
The name just kind of came to us. Me and one of my buddies just sat down, and I was really playing around with record label names, and I just said it was I don't know. I think I said someone said Rally Red Records, and I was like, Rally Red Records, that's kind of cool. I like the color, but I was like, I just don't think I could see that bright red forever.
And a triple R kind of just
I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, Black Records, and I was like, not Black Records, and I was like, oh, we're done. I don't know.
That's it.
Yeah, and I'm one of those business entrepreneurs where I'm like, check a box, we're done. And in my head, this is crazy to explain to people. In that moment, I was like, check, and then people keep saying, did you ever consider anything else? Did you go back? Did you rebrand? I'm sorry, I checked the box.
We're past
and that's not what I care about. You know what I mean? I was just trying to get something that was good enough to get all my ideas out.
You wanted basically a foundation to build.
So many ideas in my head. I was like, I don't care about the name. Matt Black, no, I love it. It's definitely grown with me.
Yeah.
But that was not.
Yeah, because you have that kind of name. That's all you really need to solve. And now your focus. It's quoted as helping artists create and release great music.
Yeah, that was the initial.
So how do you do that as a record label?
Yeah, so I've been able to gain a lot of wisdom within the music industry. I have a lot of really talented people also working on the record label who are just so qualified and consistent and incredible people. So they basically come together. We've really taken a look at how releasing music can be efficient for artists. How do we attack Spotify? How do we make sure you're getting as many presets? You know what I mean, like that. So we're really discovering that taking advantage of all of the tools you need for releasing music is kind of what you've got to do now. And also kind of taking a look at how they're growing their brand. You know what I mean? So creating digital platforms for them, reevaluating where they are as a business. I really want to partner with these artists. You know? So it's bigger than just like, oh, we're going to come in here.
Not just it's a mutual kind of.
We're coming in, we're taking apart what their foundation and really building it back up and going, hey, let's build a real project, a real business for this, and then give you the opportunity to play live shows, release your music on social music platforms, and get actual engagement and insights and analytics.
So kind of in a sense taking the helm while the musician can kind of just do their musician thing. Like, you know, you're kind of doing the almost, I want to use this term loosely, but kind of the nitty gritty of the industry.
Yeah, really though, and it's really great because just last week I was sitting down in the studio with Frank Black, and it was 4 of us there plus his producer, and he was discussing, some of his new beats and some of his new lyrics and stuff like that, and it was just incredible because I was filming, like we were getting, content for him. Our creative director Cole was working on a new logo for him. Alex was sitting there working kind of on our new social media marketing plan for his new release and a lot of things we got lined up for Frank this year, which is incredible. He's been grinding. We've got so much in the works. We've got a new EP. We've got some other things that I can't talk about.
And for people who don't know, Frank Black was your new signing, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, the newest signing was it before 2020 started, or was it?
As of 2020,
so the first signing for you guys for 2020.
Uh-huh.
Are you looking for more, like, after that? Or, I mean, you focus really on him now to kind of...
Right now, our roster's closed. Right now, for 2020, for the first quarter of 2020, we're really looking to just lock in on the 3 artists we have. Frank Black, Bobby Donnelly, and myself, Alex Frank. We're just so incredibly busy. We have so many plans, and the point is to really dive deep, not far. I'm not trying to sign 20 artists, I'm just trying to keep it consistent, 3 to 5.
With the small amount that you have?
And really dive deep into what we can build and what we can create with each artist, because it doesn't make sense to come in here and just do a skim of the music industry, just play a couple of acoustic shows. I want people to be able to tour, have merch, release music, have a digital presence, and also be able to remain mentally stable, have mental health. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So people are kind of, I guess these people are there a requirement for them, or are these just people that you were like, I like your sound, I like what you're doing, let's get together?
Yeah, there was a little bit of negotiation. What's really cool is it hasn't been any brand new signees. We're all experienced musicians. We're all been in the industry for a couple of years now. It's not like we were having to teach them every single little minute detail about what we're starting. You know what I mean?
They're already kind of
Frank Black's been rapping and performing for 6 years in the Indianapolis community. Bobby Donnelly has been performing music his entire life and is an incredible collegiate string player, and also plays with a full band, has played in the hi-fi, and
that's cool.
Also played some incredible shows in his hometown.
So he's not some chump.
They shouldn't be taken lightly for sure. These guys are going to shake the music industry this year, for sure. 2020 is going to see Bobby Donnelly and Frank Black a lot, and so I'm excited to be able to take on a lot of advanced musical things with them. You know what I mean? We're not just doing, this is our first single. It's like, no, we're working on big projects.
It's a new journey.
That are stable. They're going to be staples for all of our careers because it's at that time we're ready to make those statements.
Gotcha. All right. So I guess wrapping up, man, what can people expect from you in 2020?
Dude, 2020 from Alex Frank, you could expect a single or two. You're gonna expect some new music for sure. I've got a couple singles on the way here in the next couple months, and definitely some visuals. I'm gonna have a music video dropping. Whoa! I haven't announced that yet.
Okay.
I am gonna have a music video dropping here in the next couple months. Whoa!
That's so exciting.
Teaser. And then from Matt Black Records, we're gonna keep it going. We've got, like I said, Bobby Donnelly hitting the road this year. He's gonna be doing some dates in Indianapolis.
That's really cool.
With full band and acoustic, and Frank Black's got a new EP out coming out in 2020.
Awesome.
So keep it out for the boys. Keep an eye out for the boys.
Do you have any personal shows coming up?
I don't right now. I don't have any shows right now. I'm hosting some events that are going to be coming up. I've got a hip hop cipher that Matt Black is going to be collaborating with Soundspace on. It's going to be on February 28th.
February 28th.
At Soundspace Beta location, which is right next to Center Point Brewery. I've got that coming up, and then we've got another show coming up here at Soundspace on the first Thursday. It's going to be Bobby Donnelly acoustic at Soundspace, but it's gonna be a really cool little event. We're gonna be working on some filming, getting some videos, some live acoustic for the YouTube channel.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
All right. So, and how can people find you on social media as well?
Alex Franc Music. Alex Franc Music. It's all my social media platforms.
And Matt Black Records, is that just Matt Black Records on Instagram? Or?
It's Matt B Records. MATTEB Records on all social. And websites for each. AlexFrankMusic.com, MattBRecords.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Alex, again for coming through, man. It's always great to talk to you.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for the love, and I love what you guys are doing. I love what you guys are doing out here.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Boom.
That was nice.
That was fucking wild.